Hi there, students. De facto and de jure. Okay, something that is de facto is the existing state, what happens in reality, whereas de jure is what is legally right, what is legally defined, what the rules say. So a leader of a country could be a de facto leader of a country. A dictator, somebody who takes power by military force, becomes the de facto leader of the country. Maybe later the dictator changes the law so that he becomes de jure leader as well. So a dictator takes power from the de jure government or leaders of a country. An elected prime minister is a de jure leader of a country because they have been elected or chosen according to the law. So de facto is the state that exists. It may or may not be legal, yeah, but it's what really happens, yeah. It can be legal, yeah. It's not necessarily illegal if you say de facto, but it hasn't been proven and clearly shown by law, yeah. So something that's de facto has not been established by law or by legal claim. Maybe it just happened or somebody forced it to happen, but not through a legal process. So, for example, as well, English is the de facto common language around the world. It just became the common language. Nobody actually chose it. There was no law that says you must speak English. Yeah, it just happened de facto. Yeah, it's the existing state. It's what's actually happening. It's the reality. Yeah, whereas something de jure is the legal, proper way of doing it that has been shown or has been done according to the laws of a country. So, for example, someone could occupy a piece of land, yeah? If it's not their land, or they don't know who the owner is, or maybe it's not clear, then they are de facto owners of the land, yeah? It's the reality. They don't have a legal deed that says, I am owner of this piece of land, but they occupy it, and possession is 9 points of the law, like they say. Okay, the de jure owner of this piece of land, it could well be somebody else, somebody who actually has the title deed to the land. Okay, so de facto, the reality, and de jure, legally. So I think de facto, the Europeans stole the United States from the Indians. Okay, they became de facto owners either by killing the Indians or by pushing them out. Okay, a couple who live together but they're not married, they are a de facto couple. This is the existing state. If they go and they get married and they register their marriage, then they are a de jure couple. I think in Australia you can even refer to somebody's common law husband or common law wife, the person that they live with but they're not married, as their de facto. She's coming for lunch tomorrow with her de facto, her partner. Okay, So, de facto, the reality, but not necessarily what the law says. The person who actually looks after a child is the de facto guardian of the child. The child loves that person loves the child, that person looks after the child. But maybe they're not the de jure guardian or parent. Yeah, the situation hasn't been legally established. Yeah, and maybe the de jure parent or guardian will have more rights than the de facto one. Yeah, the person who actually does it. Okay, yes, let's see. De facto, the state that has come into being, the state that exists, even though it's not according to the law. De jure, legally, according to the law. Both of these come from Latin. De facto, of fact, and de jure, jurisprudence, jury, judge, of the law. Okay? So what about formality? I would say de facto is quite formal, maybe 7 out of 10 in formality. However, de jure is much more formal. I would give it probably a 9 out of 10. I think de facto is an everyday phrase that you could use, although it's formal. De jure is extremely formal, it's a legal phrase. So if you wanted to use de facto in a casual conversation, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I would say in reality. Yeah, in reality he's the leader of the country, although he has not been legally elected. So in reality, de facto, de jure, legally elected, legally chosen. De facto is quite a nice word to use. I would definitely recommend using it. De jure you might use, but you need something really, really formal for it. Okay? So, de facto, de jure. 2 good words for your vocabulary. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. De facto, de jure.